This is the first episode of our podcast. We are just two guys talking about baseball and the Mariners and other things, and I hope y'all enjoy. Let's get it going. All right, we're going to start off with an introduction. Sam, introduce yourself, where you're from, how you got into baseball, why you like the Mariners, where did that all come from? Just tell us a little bit backstory.
Yeah, as he said, my name is Sam. Got into baseball this past season. Never really watched baseball before that. Was more of a football guy. Met Tanner. Got me into baseball. I was like, I don't really want to watch baseball. He said, just watch the Mariners. Trust me, they're going to do great this year. And then they had the season they had. Cal Raleigh going crazy. Whole team going crazy. Almost made it. But, I mean, we'll talk about that more as we get going in. But it was a great year to start watching. And obviously I'm new to baseball, so just get that out of the way. If I say anything stupid, I apologize. But, yeah, I mean, that's about it. And I'm excited.
All right, well, I'm Tanner. Been playing baseball since I was at a very young age, so been around the game for quite a while. Lived in Seattle, so that's why I'm a Mariners fan living in Texas. Just wanted to create a podcast that is based out of Seattle because a lot of people are based in Seattle. So just love talking about baseball. Me and Sam talk about it all the time, so we wanted to kind of put where we're at and just go with it and run with it and see where it takes us. But one thing I want to talk about, Sam, is the recaps of the signings. So first one to get off the board is Josh Naylor. What a year he had, and picking him up at the deadline, it was a
For sure.
great acquisition for the team, and getting a first baseman other than Rowdy Tellez and Donovan Solano or Solano, whatever you call him.
Yeah.
What do you think about that signing, and do you think he's worth the money? Do you think it's a good fit? What do you think?
I mean, obviously you saw what he did. As soon as he came in, it was obvious that he was a fit. I mean, just a guy doesn't strike out a lot, steals bases. That's a huge plus, and you wouldn't think that he does because, just look at him. But, he's a dog out there. Yeah, I mean, he didn't get the nickname Thicky Henderson for nothing. So, but, I think it's a great signing, obviously. Just the impact that he had as soon as he came in, and everything that he did in the playoffs as well. So, obviously great signing. Glad that we got him for another, I believe it's 5 years. So, yeah, great signing.
$95 million. I think it was right around there. I think he's great
Yeah.
for the city. I think the city really took him in and really made Seattle his home, and him from being from Canada, his family's close and stuff. So, I think it's a good fit for him overall, and I think that's a great pickup, and I'm glad our front office decided to put their money where their mouth was and go sign Naylor and get it done. But another one is, I think another acquisition we had was Rob Refsnyder with that trade with Harry Ford. You don't know too much about prospects, but you know who Harry Ford is. Do you think, I just want to get a little insight from you, do you think that was a good trade based on where Cal is and where the backup catcher standpoint is? Do you think that was a decent trade coming from somebody that's not new?
Obviously with the backup catcher, if you wanted a solid guy at backup catcher, you had Harry Ford. But I believe the guy that you're talking about, Refsnyder, he plays first base and outfield.
Yes, I'm sorry. It was not Rob Refsnyder. It was Jose Ferrer that we traded from the I think it was the Reds. I'm sorry. Rob Refsnyder we signed. Jose Ferrer is a pitcher that we picked up, the left-handed pitcher that throws 100. He has a whole bunch of upside, but he's had a little bit of downside in the majors. He hasn't really found his footing. Do you think? I'm sorry, I completely botched that. We got Ferrer off that trade off of Harry. Do you think that was a good trade, getting another reliever that was in need for maybe a high leverage situation, like losing Gabe Spire, or not losing Gabe Spire, but losing Trenton Thornton and stuff? Do you think that was a good pickup? Or for a trade, do you think that was a quality trade?
I mean, just from what I've heard other people say about it, obviously didn't get to see a whole lot of Harry Ford this year, but when he did, I mean, he did really good. But I mean, to have a guy that good, that I think he'll be very good in the majors for some team. To have him sitting behind Cal, I feel like it. If I'm Harry Ford, I feel like at some point it's like I'm kind of wasting my potential and somewhat of my prime years, um, sitting behind a guy like Cal, who's, I mean, phenomenal. So I think it was good for him, for the organization. Um, Obviously, if you could have kept him to have when Cal needs a day off or Cal needs the DH, something like that, it would have been great. But I think that the pitcher they got is really going to help. We needed another lefty, from what I understood about it. So, and from what I understand, he's a ground ball machine. Not a whole lot of strikeouts, but just a whole lot of ground ball, double plays. And I think that we got the guys that can turn those double plays and make those plays. So I think it'll be very good for the team. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on it?
I'd agree. I think trading Harry Ford at where he was at, you're getting the most out of him. I mean, you could go into a couple years ago when he was I think he was like top 20 prospects. You could have got a lot more for him back then, but you didn't know what the potential you had with Cal and how he was going to turn out. So I think that trade overall is a win-win situation. And I think him going to be an everyday starter wherever he went, I forget where that trade was, but I think him going to become an everyday catcher, I'm excited for him. I think he's a great player. I've always liked Harry Ford and what he brought to the table, but having, like you said, having a guy like Cal sitting behind him, you don't really get to shine like you really want to. And I think it was a smart move, honestly. I think it was.
Yeah.
And getting that lefty, and we lost Ferguson because that was just a rental pitcher that we got for after the All-Star break and after the trade deadline. I think adding another high-leverage lefty is going to benefit this bullpen a lot more because we're so right-handed pitching heavy with our full rotation being right-handed. More than half your bullpen is right-handed, so I think having another lefty I think that was a crucial, good move for us, and I think it's going to benefit us in the long run. And that brings me to Dan Dunning that we just signed to a minor league deal. He was with the Rangers when they won the World Series. That dude has some dog to him. He fights, and I think that was a good sign, but I don't know if he's going to come out the gate on the roster coming out of spring training. I know he'll have some reps during spring training with the big guys and getting all of his reps in with them, but I don't see a spot for him in the rotation, in the bullpen. But I think it was a good pick because they can develop him down in the minors and maybe work out some kinks that didn't work too well for him this past year because he didn't pitch too much this past year, I believe, in 2025. And I think he's got a good ceiling, but he needs to just be brought to that ceiling. I don't know if you know anything about him, but what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know anything about him, but I mean, obviously the front office saw something in him that they liked. As far as progressing pitchers, I believe from what I've read up on and what I've seen, the Mariners are one of the best at it. I mean, look at all the homegrown starters we have. Clearly, they got some good coaching out there for pitchers. If any work needs to be done, I'm sure he'll get it done with the guys that they have out there. So yeah, I don't know too much about him, but I mean, if the front office thinks that he's a good fit, just pray for the best, I suppose.
Yeah, I'd agree. Maybe he'll turn out to be something that we are not, that we can't see, that the front office can see, and the development program on that side can see. I mean, he could turn out to be a high leverage arm for us, kind of like how Bizarro came out of nowhere this year. He could be another.
Yeah, for sure.
You just never know. But
yeah.
Jumping to the next guy, I think our next guy is Rob Refsnyder. I think this is one of the last two I was going to talk about. First baseman, outfielder, left-handed bat. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I would say of all the positions right now that we need, first base is obviously off the table because, I mean, we have Josh Naylor, probably top 5, top 10 first baseman in baseball. Um, I think outfield is probably where we would need him the most, especially right field, because I don't think it's concrete who's going to be there come opening day yet. I know we got guys like Canzone, we got guys like Robles, and if he gets in there, I mean, even if he doesn't get the starting spot, he may create some competition and light a fire under some of those guys, make them come out and play. And uh, like I said, I think our probably our weakest position is right field. I mean, Randy's a great left fielder. Julio's obviously best center fielder in the league. Um, so, I mean, having a guy that we can, I mean, even if I don't know what outfield positions he plays, but if he plays them all, let's just say, um, he may just play left and right, but I don't know. But just having him in case Randy needs a day off, or um, maybe even if he plays center, Julio needs the DH. Just having a guy like that can play the outfield and first base. Even, I mean, if you wanted Josh Naylor to DH, you could put him at first base because I know first base beats you up, and you want Josh Naylor to stay healthy. So, I mean, that's my thoughts on it. I don't really know too much about his hitting. Um,
He's
so
a big platoon bat, so I think he's another lefty. I think he mashes righties. And that's where I was going to go to, is because you have Luke Raley as well. You have Rob Refsnyder. You have Dominic Canzone. They all play right field that are all lefties. Like, how I'm curious to see how Dan is going to construct this lineup with the DH spot and are we going to move Rob Refsnyder to left field if it's up against a righty? Because Randy's platoons are pretty even, but if you have somebody that absolutely mashes righties, why would you not take Randy out, put Rob Refsnyder in left, or you can DH him, but then that comes to who you're going to DH, because then you have Dominic Canzone, you have Luke Raley. I'm just curious how they're going to use him. Is he going to be more of a utility DH guy, or is he going to be more of a everyday player, just either DH or out? I'm curious to see how they're going to construct that.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, I think our weakest position is probably right field, but I think the weakest part of our lineup is obviously DH, losing Jorge Polanco, guy that played DH most of the season. I mean, he had reps at, I'm pretty sure he had reps at second, third. I want to say that he was even in first at some points. But he was our DH, and that was a signing that when he signed with the Mets, that hurt. So, I mean, I think I'm very interested to see what they do as far as DHing. So, I mean, we'll see when the season rolls around. But, I mean, like I said, even if it's Refsnyder's a guy that comes in, causes some competition, lights fire under those guys. Because, I mean, I know that whole team's fired up from the way that last season ended. So, I think it's a good signing, especially if he mashes. You said right-handed pitching, so.
Yeah, he's a platoon. So, I mean, having a guy that's guaranteed gonna go smash a starter because he's a platoon bat off righties, I mean, that kind of limits his opportunity to play against lefties. Like, Canzone played a little bit. He did lefty-lefty. Luke Raley did a little bit of lefty-lefty before he got injured with his oblique. I mean, we have guys that can hit lefties on left, but I feel like he's going to be more of a platoon, and we're going to see him more against right-handed pitching coming off the bench or DH. I'm curious. It's going to be interesting. I know he's got big upside. I think he's got a little bit of power, not a whole bunch. He's not going to be a 30 home run guy, I don't think. I think he's going to be like 20 to 25 bombs. He's going to give you a 300 average, maybe high 200s, and he's going to give you quality at bats. I think that's his role, and I hope that's how it turns out. But Bryce Miller, let's jump to the next guy. Bryce Miller, an arbitration and a club option in 2027. How do you feel? Do you think we're going to extend him after his club option? What are you hoping for?
Well, I mean, obviously, this was my first year watching the Mariners. I heard that he had a great season the year before this last year. So this year, obviously, he had to deal with some injuries. When he came back, he got off to a rocky start. But then, I mean, you got in the playoffs, and I'm not going to shy away from saying it. He was our best starter in that rotation.
I'd agree.
I mean,
Him or Kirby.
and if yeah, but I mean, especially against was it? He didn't. Was it? He was the one that played against Detroit and had two great starts. And I mean,
I think that was Toronto. I believe that was Toronto.
it may have been Toronto, but I mean, he had those two. He had those two amazing starts. I think if he can carry that over into next season, stay healthy, if he can continue to build off that and keep going, I mean, I can see an extension in his future. Especially because we got guys like Luis, who I don't think we're gonna keep. I mean, I think he'll probably play here this year. If he has a good year, I don't see an extension. I see an extension for Bryce Miller more than I see an extension for Luis Castillo. And I mean, he's younger. I think his ceiling's higher. And yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I think it's a great idea to have a option for him.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think having that core, Castillo, or not, Kirby, Gilbert, Wu, Miller, and then you have either Ryan Sloan coming up, you got first-round draft pick Kate Anderson from LSU coming up, you got Durangelo Sanja coming up. I mean, you have options to replace Castillo, but I think setting stone, having Bryce Miller in there for the next 2 years with a club option in 2027, I think gives you a real good shot for them. It sets your future for the next 3 years to have a real good run at going for that championship and bringing that World Series to Seattle. I think that's a big part of it, and having that deep rotation is smart and keeping him. And I think if you can I wouldn't say redo, but have the same season you did back in 2024 with that rotation. I mean, there's nobody. I don't even think the Dodgers could beat us, and that's saying something, having that rotation like that. But you can never count Shohei out. But
Yeah, that's for sure.
Speaking of Shohei and like Miller and everybody, and Naylor, WBC's coming up. It's coming up quick. March.
Yep.
March. Thoughts and feelings on Mariners players playing in the WBC? I know we have Matt Brash and Naylor playing for Canada. I know you got you got Cal Raleigh and Spire playing for Team USA. You got Randy and Andres Munoz for Mexico. And I think Arroyo's playing for Colombia. What are your thoughts and feelings on our players playing the WBC? Do you like it? Why do you like it? If you don't like it, why don't you like it? Like, what do you think?
I'm new to baseball, obviously, but I would say I don't really see a problem with them playing. Obviously, there's a risk that, I mean, knock on wood, one of our guys might get injured, but you have to think you got guys like Shohei who are going to go out and play for Japan. You got guys like Ronald Acuna who's going to go out and play for, I believe, Venezuela. I could be wrong on that, but yeah. But I mean, it's not just Mariners players who are taking that risk, and I think it's a good opportunity for. I think there's not a lot of that in the other sports that I watch. I mean, obviously, with basketball, I watch basketball. You get a little more of the camaraderie, but I believe that brings a lot of camaraderie. And sportsmanship into baseball, because I mean you get to play with guys that are on different teams, and but as far as like injuries and stuff go, I mean it's a risk. I mean, but you take that risk every time you walk out on the field. So I mean you take that risk walking onto the practice field. So obviously game situations are a little bit more intense, but I mean it's a good opportunity for them, and I'm happy for them, and I really don't see a problem with it. Some people might. But I don't see a problem with it. You might have a different opinion on that and a little more cautious, but that's just me.
I'm a little more cautious about it, especially with you're playing 162 games just in the regular season. You're not adding on another 20 that can be played in the playoffs. I mean, it's a long season. It's demanding. It takes a toll on your body. Like playing in high school, and I never really got to play in college. I was consistently injured, and that just goes to show that these athletes that go out there and can play for 162 games, it's going to take a toll on your body. My biggest like being cautious over the pitchers, I think, is their workload. Because being a pitcher myself, I mean, going out there and pitching, you never know. A starter can go throw another 4 games. They can go throw another 4 games in the WBC, and you're adding another 4 games on top of the workload they're going to have in the regular season. With that said, I feel like they're monitored a little more liberally, with being like, okay, you played in the WBC and all, but I think having that risk can be rewarding, but it can also hurt something that you're getting actually paid for. Like playing for your country is very big in baseball. Like with Venezuelans, Dominicans, people playing for Mexico, Colombia, Italy, Canada. I mean, they want to go represent their country. That's what they live for. But I feel like the smart thing, in my opinion, is to not play. But then what's the point of the WBC, you know? It just makes no sense.
And I mean, it's obviously a risk that, I mean, they want to take. They want to represent their country, and salute to them for that. And I could be wrong, but it's not just our players that are going to be out there. You know what I'm saying? Cal Raleigh is not going to be the only catcher. He's not going to be catching every single game of the WBC. He's not going to. It's not going to be. I mean, obviously, it still adds to the workload that he's going to have in the regular season. Because I mean, we have a backup catcher, but I mean, Cal caught the most innings, I believe, of any catcher this year. So I mean, obviously, he's a dog, but I think a lot of them see this as an opportunity to go represent their country, and they want to do it. And I mean, some of them probably watched. I mean, a lot of the guys probably watched the WBC growing up, and now that they're getting a chance to play in it, I mean, hats off to them. If they want to go do it, I mean, they're big boys. They know what they can and can't do. They know the risks that they're taking, and so yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't pray for anybody to get hurt from any team. I hope that everybody stays healthy. But I mean, that's the risk that you take when you go out and play a sport. I mean, you go out and play any sport, you risk getting hurt. So that's my take on it.
Trent Thornton tore his Achilles at the very end of the season after coming off injury. I mean, you got to think it can happen to anybody at any time. It doesn't matter whether you're playing football or basketball, tennis, golf. Football, it doesn't matter. It can happen.
I mean, you risk injury walking onto the practice field. I mean,
exactly.
Anything can happen. And I mean, I understand the caution to an extent, but at a certain point, it's you can get too cautious where it's like you don't want to do anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I don't know, if I was getting paid to go play a sport and that was asked of me to go play in, it would be a long thought. You know, like.
Well, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's. But I do respect them, but the only thing that cautious me is pitchers more than anything.
Yeah.
Cause
yeah.
That's just. I just know the workload and I know how it goes, and I just couldn't imagine. But jumping off the WBC,
for sure.
Let's go into the upcoming season predictions. What you got anything written out? Do you have any predictions for the AL West? What do you think is gonna happen?
I don't have anything written out, but I mean, if we just recap, I mean, what happened last season. I mean, there were some times at the beginning where it was like, this team looks rough, but there was also some flashes of really, really good. I mean, obviously, from what I've been told about the Mariners in the past, Julio had about average first half, maybe a little worse than his average first halves are. And then we just saw him in the second half. Yeah.
I think his first halves have been almost the same, I think, except for his rookie year, when he just broke out in the to the light and shine like a bright star, and hasn't stopped ever since.
Yeah. But I mean, you look at guys like him, and then in the second half, he absolutely balled out. I mean, I would argue that if you just take it off second half alone, he's top 5 in MVP. So if he gives you a whole season of that, which I believe that obviously he has the potential to do anything, but because his ceiling's probably the highest on that team, just because of how fast, how his ball tracking in the outfield, his bat, everything. He's got the. I mean, obviously the Mariners saw something in him when they signed him, and they know what they got with him. And if he gives you a whole season of that, I think you could be looking at an MVP. If he gives you a whole season of second half Julio baseball. But then,
I would agree.
yeah, and I'm cool with just doing this position by position, just going kind of through it, and then just giving our thoughts on where we think they're going to go. Yeah.
Let's go position by position, and we'll go to team rankings.
Yeah.
Cal.
So we did center field.
We can go center field. I think Julio is going to be. He's going to be Julio. I think this year is his breakout year. I think this is the year he is going to step foot in the MLB and say, I am the best player in the MLB. I will not get robbed of the MVP. Cal Raleigh did.
Amen, brother.
I think that this is a year Julio is going to just put his foot down and be all like, I'm going to be the player. I'm going to be a second half player all year. And I think that's going to be the biggest acquisition. If you can pull that out this year, that's adding another player to your roster that you don't have. You know you have
Exactly.
in the second half. He has shown that for the last 4 years that he can play second half baseball to his potential that you see in him. If he can bring that to the first half, like I think he will this year, he will be an MVP. He will make the MVP. I can guarantee it.
Yeah, and I think as far as that goes, I think of all the players in that clubhouse, obviously that heartbreaking loss at the end of the season, I think that might have been a wake up call for him. Like, hey, obviously I'm not doubting his work ethic, but I think that loss is gonna start a fire under a lot of those guys to work even harder than they did. And just, I mean, obviously all those guys are dogs. I mean, you can just go position by position, and we got dogs on our team. From catcher to outfield, infield, pitching. I mean, we have some dogs on our team. And I think that loss, they were that close to bringing something to Seattle that hasn't been there ever. And I think obviously this team has the potential to do whatever this team does. I mean, this team could go win a World Series. It's not out of the question. This team has the potential to do whatever they want. They just have to grind and put the work in.
Yeah, I agree. And also, like, coming off, like, playoffs and stuff, I think I'm going to jump to the next guy, Randy Arozarena. It's a big guy that jumps out to me coming to playoffs, and the run he had in Tampa Bay before we got him in the playoffs, I think it was in 2020, COVID year, absolutely just mashed the ball in playoffs, and he was named this playoff king, and he's just so clutch in playoffs, and we didn't really get to see that this year. And I think Randy's going to have a normal regular season where he's going to be cold at some times, but when he's hot, he's hot. Like we saw in July, he was hitting bomb after bomb after bomb. I think he hit 9 bombs in like 2 weeks. Like he was just on fire. And I think he's got a lot of upside too this year, and I think he's going to have a normal regular season. But I think come playoff time, he's gonna find that Tampa Bay Randy Arozarena energy in him somewhere, and he's going to carry this team for a series. I can tell you that can happen right now, and I hope it does.
Yeah. I wanna see a lot of Randy Arozarena with his arms crossed this season, and in the playoffs. I want to see a lot of it. So, I love Randy. I mean, I started watching this year, and I love him. I mean, he's just got a great personality. Me and you went to that game. He threw us a ball. Super cool guy. I got the ball in my closet. Um, but yeah, I mean, he's streaky. He has his moments where it's like
And
he
you know
can't
that
hit the
risk.
ball.
You know that risk with him. You know that risk. With
Yeah,
him. He's always been
but
streaky.
but the opposite side of the pendulum swing is he's getting on base. He's hitting doubles. He's stealing bases. He's hitting bombs.
He's getting
I mean,
tagged.
exactly.
The dude gets hit all the time.
I think he was the most hit player in baseball by pitch last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Which is crazy to me because Ty France, you don't know much about him. We had him a couple years ago. We traded him to the Twins, and then he was with the Blue Jays. But he was the most hit player in baseball too. So we've had back-to-back players that have been hit the most, which makes no sense. But anyways, off topic. But
Yeah,
I do agree
and
with
but
getting on
I
base
think
and doing everything.
but the problem is with that is he gets hit by so many pitches. That's a problem for the other team because he's fast. He steals bags.
When he wants to be, not in the outfield, but on the base path, yeah.
Yeah, I would obviously love to see a little more effort than sometimes. I mean, you could probably do a compilation of Randy jogging in the outfield. But on the other hand, if he thinks that he's going to catch that ball, if there's a 5% chance he can catch that ball, he's going to lay his body out and catch it. That's just, it's not like, he jogs and, he's so bad in the outfield. He's really not as bad as people would say that he is. He has his moments. So does everybody. Aaron Judge has his moments where he can't catch the ball. So, I mean,
Talk about the World Series.
yeah, I wasn't watching during that one, but I already know Joe's going to be mad about that. But,
Shout out to Joe.
yeah, shout out to Joe.
I mean, yeah, I'd agree. Randy's a big one.
He's a big clubhouse guy too. A lot of the guys in there love him.
Yeah, I mean, Randy and Julio, and they all speak the same language. Victor Robles, like, you got a full Dominican outfield that have this chemistry of coming from where they came from. I mean, sorry, Robles and Julio are Dominican, but Randy's from Mexico, but they all speak the same language, so they don't have that barrier between them. I mean, there's so much chemistry in the outfield with those three outfielders, which brings me to Victor Robles. I think if we don't lose him in the 9th game of the season by him laying his body literally on the line, jumping into a fence, catching a foul ball, I think that season looks completely different. I think we actually run away with it. And with the upcoming season, with Victor Robles coming up and stuff, I think this is a year if we can have the 2024 version of Victor when we got him. I think that's the best outfield in the game. I mean, well, maybe because you got the Dodgers and the Mets and stuff, but I think
I was about to say the Dodgers are creeping up there, buddy, with that Kyle Tucker signing, which we're salty about.
They've been there. They have been there. The Dodgers have been
Yeah.
there for a while. They're the best team in baseball, obviously, but you got to defeat
Yeah.
David and Goliath. You got to have somebody to go beat Goliath. I mean,
Exactly.
why would we leave the David?
There were times I thought Toronto was going to pull it off. They just couldn't. I mean, the Dodgers, they're dogs. They're not. A lot of the times you'll see teams that's in like football and teams like that it's like, oh, their records are so good and but they're overhyped. The Dodgers are as advertised. They are the best team in baseball. It's not a question. But it's baseball. Any team can beat anybody on any night. The A's could go into LA and sweep the Dodgers. They could.
It's 162 games, baby. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly. And I obviously, you would like to have Victor more. I think he's a good. I think he's a decent bat to have in the lineup. I mean, obviously, I think our lineup is very, very good. So I don't think he's batting third, batting fourth, or anything like that. He's not one of those guys, but he's a solid bat to have when he's on. And obviously, you saw that catch that he injured himself on, but you have that kind of player that's willing to lay his body out. We saw what he did in Houston. I mean,
Yeah.
that crazy catch at the end of the deal. Exactly. So you have the guy that it's like, oh man, I really wish that he would protect his body more. But it's like, if he's willing to do that for the team, then he's willing to do that. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, he's willing to sacrifice his body to make that play to win the game. So obviously, I wish he wouldn't go off and break half his body running into a wall, but and also not throw bats at people. But
Yeah, that'd be nice too. But getting pegged by the same guy twice, I mean,
yeah,
off a rehab,
yeah,
I mean,
that's a whole other can of worms. But as
And I
far
think
as
his mom passed away that week too,
yeah,
or something
and
like that.
yeah, and obviously you're on edge if something like that happens. So
Yeah,
you can't really blame him, but you can at the same time. You got to be professional. But I mean, if we're gonna hold it to him having to be professional, then we got to hold the pitcher who's pegged him. I believe, from what I saw, it's not. He didn't just get pegged by the same guy twice. It's been multiple times in multiple teams.
yeah, yeah.
But as far let's get back to right field. Obviously you got guys like Dom Canzone as well. I think Dom has good potential. I think he mashes righty.
Potential. That dude had 3 bombs against KC. I mean, Dom has
Yeah.
so much raw power. It's not even funny. It's like, but the thing with Dom and Victor, I feel like, is like Victor has so much to bring with the defensive side, and him being as fast as Julio, as good as a ball tracker as Julio, in right field with an amazing arm. And that's where you have to start playing your cards. Is like you have Dom.
Wish he could steal bases like Julio though.
Yeah, that'd be nice. But it's just like that's the upside. It's like you're either gonna have a mediocre bat with great defense or almost an above average bat. Because I think Dom was batting 300 at the end of the year with subpar defense. But I mean, I think Dom's gonna have a good year. I think you give him you give him a little bit of the torch to run with. I think he's gonna run with it far, and I think you're gonna have some competition, like you said, in right field. It's not set in stone. You never know.
Yep. And I wish the best for both of those guys, and whoever the front office and Dan thinks is the best pick, they'll be out there opening day, and we'll root for them no matter who it is. So, I mean, let's do positions that we know who the picks are going to be, because I know second base is kind of up in the air, third base is kind of up in the air. We can talk about that.
We can do third.
We can talk about some guys, but I'm just saying let's talk about Josh Naylor. We can talk about him all day. Josh Naylor he's the man. I love that dude.
Yeah, he's just a dude. He's just all about baseball. He's just on the fence at all times, watching pitchers, giving reads. That's how he steals bags. He looks for hitches and pitchers. I mean, the dude's a dog.
Yeah.
He's gonna have an unbelievable year. He comes out and says he likes hitting in T-Mobile, which is literally the worst park to hit in. Like, to be able to go into a park and say, "Oh, I like hitting here," but statistically, it is the worst because of the marine layer. I mean,
Yeah.
if he does what he did for us throughout the whole season, he's gonna have 30 bombs. I mean, he hit what, 10 within like the first month? I mean,
It's like, yeah, we could potentially have a first baseman with a 30-30 season. That is how good this guy is. It's nuts.
it's insane.
And just to show you how much, I mean, obviously I don't live in Seattle. My dad watched 2 games with me during the playoffs and was immediately a Josh Naylor fan. Love Josh
There's
Naylor.
nothing to hate about him.
It's like there's nothing crazy about him. He's not the super flashy guy. I mean, obviously he wears the shoes. He has all that. He has swag. But he's not the he's very cool under pressure. Doesn't let things get to him. He's hype when he needs to be. When he does like that double that he hit to clear the bases. I can't remember what game. Yeah, that double he hit to clear the bases and win the game. That was, I mean, the emotion you saw out of him there, I mean, was just crazy. I think he loves all the guys in the clubhouse, and I think everybody loves him back. City loves him. What's not to love about Josh Naylor? It's just he's him. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So obviously,
The guy that's just loved by the city, J.P. Crawford. What do you think? I think he's gonna do this year. I mean, he had coming off a bad defensive season. His back kind of heated up, cooled down. I mean, what do you think?
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he's the longest tenured player there. He's been there the longest. So obviously the city loves him. Had kind of a rough year at times. At times he was hitting super well. I believe it was the Father's Day game. I think it was his first Father's Day. Yeah. So his bat's good at times. I believe with the ABS system coming in as well, with his eye, he's going to get a lot more walks because they're going to trust him and his eye to challenge if they need to. I think that putting him, this is just me talking, I think putting him at leadoff because he grinds at bats. Obviously, everybody has bad at bats, and some people could pull up and say, oh, look at this at bat, look at this at bat. Everybody has bad at bats. But I think consistently on the Mariners, I think he grinds at bats the most. He has the best eye for the batter's box. He knows when it's a strike. He knows when it's a ball. He knows what he can swing at and where he can put it. It's just a matter of going out and doing it. I mean, there were times that he couldn't. There were times that he did, and he did it at a very high level. Defensive side of the ball, I love to see a little more out of him. I think he just had a bad year. I think that he knows that, and he's going to come out and he's going to work his hardest to just grind and be the best that he can be going into this next season.
I'd agree. I mean, he's getting a little up there in age, and I know with age, your speed and defense comes to a toll too. But I mean, I think he's gonna have a decent season. I think he's the heart of this team. Honestly, I think he is the sole driver of this team. I think he brings the energy to the clubhouse. I mean, there's other guys like, I mean, I can't really say Cal because he's so mellow. You got Julio, you got Randy, you got Victor. They're all energetic. I mean, but
yeah, for sure.
I think JP is the heart of this team, and I think having him this next season is gonna spark something. I think he's gonna have a better season than what he did last year. That's my prediction. I think he's gonna have a better season than he did last year.
Yeah, that's for sure. And what I was saying about staying on positions, because I don't think we have a set in stone third baseman and we don't have a set in stone second baseman, so I think we can just jump straight to catcher, and we don't have to talk about Cal Long. Y'all, just go Google the man. Just go Google him.
Yeah, we ain't gotta say much about him. I think he has
60 bombs by a switch hitting catcher.
Yeah, I mean, he set his foot in concrete in the MLB this year. He just got out there and said, hey, I'm Cal Riley. I'm the best catcher in the league, and good luck striking me out. And good luck if you give me anything over the plate, just might as well just say goodbye because it's gone. So there's not much to say about him. I think he's going to do great. It's Cal.
I mean, the only critique is that I have, Cal, love you, love that you won the home run derby. Please don't do that again.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't. He could easily broke the record if he didn't do the home run derby because he put him on a cold streak for a month.
Yeah, and there's not much we can say about him. Great defense, obviously, Platinum Glove winner. Should have been an MVP this year. Obviously won a Silver Slugger. I mean, how do you not when you're a switch hitting catcher hitting 60 bombs? How do you not?
Go out and try to replicate this upcoming year and just try to do it again and hopefully have two MVP caliber players with catcher and center.
Yep.
We can get into pitchers next episode, but I want to jump into AL West rankings? What do you think the teams are going to land? How do you think they're going to win? I think this AL West division is going to be very much different this year. So I want to see what your take is, and I have some. I might have some takes that are a little hot that are not going to be. I think I'm going to hurt some feelings of some families, but.
You're gonna have to remind me. I've been going around doing other things in my life. Teams that we have Seattle, Astros, Rangers, Angels, Athletics.
Correct. Bingo.
Okay. Like I said, a lot of this baseball that I watched was the Mariners. I watched a little bit of Texas ball, just obviously living in Texas. Just doing that. Obviously, watch the Astros because they're the team you compete with the most. And I don't think it's going to be any different. I think it's going to be Houston and Seattle fighting for the top two spots. I think you may be able to throw maybe Texas in there. I mean, if the A's can maybe sign some guys, bring some guys up. They have a good first baseman. Nick Kurtz. I mean, obviously you need more than just a first baseman, but I think it's going to be a little bit of a battle between Seattle and Houston because Houston's they're just dogs. I mean, they were down felt like half their roster, and they were still managing to keep us at a 3 games back, no matter what happened. It's like they're playing the Dodgers and we're playing the Rockies, and we'd find a way to lose and they'd find a way to win, even with their whole roster being hurt. They're dogs that are going to come out and play. But I think the Mariners will probably end up in the number 1 seed there. Maybe not the number 1 seed in the AL, but I think they'll come out in the top spot in the AL West.
All right, well, coming off that, I think Seattle, I think what we saw last year is something we're going to see for the next 3 years, in my opinion. So I have us finishing first. Here's a big hot take that it's going to be kind of crazy. I think the Athletics are going to be number 2 in the division this year. Reason being is they have
really
they're scrappy. They have Brent Rooker. They have Nick Kurtz. They have Jacob Wilson. They have some prospects coming up that I think are going to shine very brightly. They can get some pitchers. I think they're going to be giving us a run for our money. They play us hard. They play the Astros hard. They play the division very well. That's why I have them at number 2. Number 3, I have the Astros. Just because it's the Astros. I mean, I think their dynasty run is over. I think that's all said and done. I mean, Jordan's going to be back. Altuve's getting old. Pitchers are getting old. I mean, I just don't see the Astros doing anything very competitively this year. That's just my opinion. And then I have the Angels 4th. I think the Angels are not going to finish last because they have had some signings this year. And I think they're going to be a scary team in the next couple of years. And then I have the Rangers last. The Rangers, I think they're just done. I think that World Series run was a one and done. I don't think they had a dynasty. I think
he's hurting a lot of people's feelings putting the Rangers at last. Oh, Hunter's gonna hate you.
I think the Rangers are gonna be last in the division this year just because of injury bugs, and they ain't got Adolis no more. They ain't got Marcus Semien no more. Corey Seager was on the injured list so much this season. They lost some pitchers. I mean, I just don't see them being a competitive team this year with what they have. I can't see it. I believe the Angels are a more competitive team with all the signings they've had, and that's why I have the Angels 4th and the Rangers last. I mean, it just makes sense to me.
I think I can agree. I think the only 2 teams that I would switch is maybe Houston and the A's, but I do agree with you, and obviously you named off a bunch of names that I couldn't name. I only really remember Nick Kurtz. I will, as baseball goes on, I promise you I will learn a lot more, and but a lot of the guys that you named, their names did come back to mind, and I remember those guys having really good years, and so I can agree with it's not as hot of a take as you would think, but yeah, I mean I can definitely see that.
Yeah, well, that's the predictions, and I mean we'll jump into the pitchers and stuff next podcast, and probably jump into the ABS system. So be on the lookout for that. But I think that's going to be all for this episode, and I hope y'all enjoyed. And if y'all enjoyed, click subscribe, like it, download the podcast wherever you're getting it, either if it's from Spotify or Apple, or if you're watching on YouTube, watching us talk and listen. Really do appreciate it, and we love the support. And share with your friends. And if y'all have any questions that you want us to answer, we'll do that probably once a week, and you can just leave in the comments on the YouTube. But appreciate y'all listening, and we're going to sign off. And this is the first episode of the Texas Trident Pod, and hope y'all enjoyed.
Peace.
Sam, you got anything?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right. Sounds good. Well, y'all have a good one, and be looking out for the next episode. Hope y'all enjoyed.